It's the final game of the season and the final edition of the Tiger Football Report, which starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and is locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How could you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome, fans, to another edition of the Tiger Football Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with head coach Rob Ambrose in Coach Ambrose's office once again. And, Coach, this week you take on the Rhode Island Rams, a team that came up with a big victory against Villanova last week, 20-6. You had the Rookie of the Week in Kobe Tippett. They had the Offensive Player in the Week in Jawan Lawson, the quarterback. So 2 teams that are playing well coming down the stretch here.
Oh, agreed. They're playing some of the best ball they played all year, and they've played some pretty good ball. While their wins and losses don't really look real good, they've gone toe-to-toe with just about everybody that they played. They got some dynamic individuals with the ball in their hands. And defensively, up front, they're big, they're strong, they're tough, and they're smart. So, once again, this is going to be a challenge.
They got the running back Cooper. It seems like he's been there about 12 years now. I mean, this kid is averaging almost 4.5 yards a carry. Lawson had the big week. They've got receivers that are very, very good. So this is an offense that can put a lot of points on the board.
Can and has. And we are going to be tested. That this is one of the best pass offenses, most dynamic pass offenses around. That while these guys, the completion percentage may not be that great, their yards per catch are ridiculous. And it's not just one guy. There's lots of guys that when they get the ball in their hands, they're very, very explosive. So we're going to have to be in the right places. We're going to have to tackle really well. We're going to have to tackle as a group. We're going to have to get everybody to the ball.
On the defensive side, there have been some games where they've given up a lot of points, but they showed last week against Villanova, holding them to just 6 points, that they're also a unit that's getting better as the season's gone on.
Oh, God, yes. Seriously, up front, the 7 guys up front, they are as strong and as fast and as physical as anybody in this league. And just go look at the stats. And most of the teams that they play, it's almost impossible to run the ball against them. And that you're going to have to spread it around some, and you're going to have to be a little unorthodox if you're going to spring those big runs, because they are really disciplined up front.
For your team, it's been a year that did not go the way that you all originally had hoped that it would go. Again, you've progressed, which as a coach you've got to like that you're seeing your team getting better as the year goes on. But you've played so many guys this year. I don't know what the record is for most guys in a season, but you've got to be pretty close. And that's got to bode well for the future because you've got a lot of freshmen out there.
Yeah, we were talking about that at one of the team meals that when they call for the seniors, there's not a lot of guys that stand up. And, that takes its toll a little bit in reference to reps and leadership for a young team. But these young guys have learned a lot. They've grown a lot. And I said this was going to be a pretty big class that we recruited. And the last 2 years have been pretty decent-sized guys. And said if we could stay healthy, we could be pretty good. Now you think about this, we were very unhealthy at the beginning of the season, and we've had to grow through that immensely. As I look at the stats in the rest of the league, it seems like there's a lot of teams getting unhealthy now. Whereas we've kind of, once we ran through our gamut, we pretty much stayed the same. We just had to play all these young guys, and interestingly enough, they just kept getting better and better and better every week. So, I kind of wish we had another month of football and see where the record's laid after that. But we'll just keep doing what we're doing. It's going to be senior day. It's going to be at home. It's the last one at home. You want to win your last one always. You want to win your last one at home even a little bit more. And we know full well that these guys have this game circled on their calendar, that just in the way that they lost to us last year. So it's going to take an effort.
Speaking of the way you won last year, which was on a 55-yard field goal by Aiden O'Neill, he had an amazing streak come to an end this past Saturday. He could have broken the school record for most consecutive games with a field goal and broken the all-time field goal record for most field goals in a career. He's tied right now with Ed Kulik and Randy Bielski with 32, but he's got 2 years left. So by the time he's done, Aiden O'Neill is going to shatter the field goal record here at Towson.
Yeah, I'm sorry because I know some of these old guys that I was involved in coaching when those guys set the record. So, he's a talent. He really is. And we talked about that. And the circumstances that, somebody wanted me to let him kick the field goal at the end of the game, but I wasn't going to take a chance of having one blocked, letting that be a big play, momentum turner. No. The goal was to win the game, not to break a record. But he's a very, very talented young man who's going to have a really good career if he keeps this pace.
The other thing we've seen in last week, Kobe Tippett, the freshman, gets Rookie of the Week. Bryce Carter won it earlier in the season. Ryan Stover won it earlier in the season. And then you've had some guys like Jabari Allen made an unbelievable catch this past Saturday. You've got young receivers, young running backs. Kobe Young has shown that he's very dynamic. So you've got guys that have 3 years left coming back on the offensive and defensive side of the ball that have gotten some valuable experience this year.
Agreed. And if I could, if I projected myself a month from now, I'd probably be smiling from ear to ear. But the goal is not the future. The goal is today. The goal is Rhode Island. And the goal is to get this one and end the season on a positive note.
All right, Coach, thank you for all your help this year.
Thanks, Spiro. You're great.
All right, so that will do it for this edition of the Tiger Football Report. Don't forget the Tigers at home against Rhode Island, 2 o'clock, Johnny Unitas Stadium. Come on out. If you can't make it, Gordy Combs and I will have it for you on CBS 1300, CBS Sports Radio 1300, starting at 1:45 with the pregame show and also on TowsonTigers.com. So for head coach Rob Ambrose, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for watching the Tiger Football Report, and as always, go Tigers.